guys even on rebounds, forced 20 turnovers, hold the percentage he did defensively. Even though he went so small, he had to be pleased with the effort overall.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, in particular, Javonte and Derek and Tony did a really, really nice job. And certainly, Derek having to guard Hartenstein and a little bit not long on Zubac. But, I mean, we battled and fought, and everybody kind of got in there and helped and rebounded. When we did go a little bit smaller, and I thought our defense was good. It was a game that got played really small tonight. We ended up going small. They went small, and it was just everything was just switches and traps, and you're totally taken out of offense. It comes down to someone being able to create and try to create some spacing and get the ball into the middle of the floor and someone make a play. And I thought our guys, when they kind of made that run, we had timeout. They came out of the timeout and I put together a nice run to, I think, by 6 or 8 after that.
What was behind the decision to start Alex over Conte?
I think just finding out, it's not anybody's, I don't use the word fault because I don't mean it that way, but it's just, we don't know enough about our team. When a guy like Vooch is playing 34 minutes a night, a little bit more than that leaves 14 minutes. So you're not going to see all these different combinations. Now that he's off the floor, just in that center spot, that's 48 minutes right there that you're having to figure out. So, I thought, like, from a spacing standpoint and maybe using Javonte and Derek's energy out there athletically, where we could switch and try to trap some and be disruptive and try to get them a little bit more active. It's a little bit unconventional, but I felt like it was playing to those guys' strengths. And I thought starting the game, getting some spacing on the floor, as Alex into the ball handler, creator, driver, that can maybe open it up. And I thought we got off to a good start. And then I thought the second unit played well. I thought I was thinking about trying to, put Tony back in there, as a screener for DeMar there in that second unit. But the second unit functioned pretty well. And obviously DeMar carried that unit there in the first half. He really got going. And, we thought throughout the game, we kind of held our own.
What do you think about Caruso on, Paul George? I mean, he's the focus of their offense. And no offense to Caruso, but, of all the guys, stars you have out there, he's probably the least athletic, highlight, jump, size and everything. And then you pick him, of all guys, to put on their key guy.
Well, I mean, Jackson's really good off the dribble. I got a lot of confidence in Alex. He's 6'5". He's basically, since he's been in the NBA, he's always guarded guys like that. It was either he or Lonzo. It was pretty much what we're going to do. And, we were comfortable with both those guys playing. But
I'm not saying a negative. So it was a pretty remarkable job he did.
He was phenomenal. I mean, he did an incredible job. But I'm saying going into the game, I felt very, very confident that he can guard those kind of players. I mean, there's certain players that are so good, you kind of at their mercy. And Paul George is one of them. He didn't shoot the ball particularly well. I thought Alex worked as hard as he could against him. I'm sure Paul had some shots that he wished he had back. But yeah, I mean, I thought he did an incredible job on him, to your point.
It seemed like also you were able to, and maybe lure is not the right word, but make them go smaller. You offset their big guys, and they weren't able to do much with size, and they had a downsize to you to match you. It seemed like, is that what you were trying to get toward?
Yeah, I mean, I think I didn't know if they would do that or not. I felt like watching them on tape that we had to match Tony with Zubac as much as we could. Now, we got caught a little bit in the second half with Derek out there, and I thought held his own. But it's like one of those things, if you can take away the initial role, now you're kind of taking them out of, or any team out of their offense, because teams just don't post the ball on a regular basis like that. He gets it more on rolls, offensive rebounds, and maybe it's a throwback to a post up. So, we felt like we could switch with him a little bit. And then, when we put Derek in there with Javonte, they never really went back big. They came back with Hartenstein maybe for a little bit, then they went back. But those guys are just, it's hard just to post them up, because throwing the ball into the paint, you get a lot of traffic. Now those guys have to make plays. So probably both teams forced each other to play somewhat small. I made the decision there, probably coming out of the half, just seeing the way the first half went, that if it did get close, I was probably going to close with either Javonte or Derek at the 5, just so we could switch.
Also, when they came back and got ahead by 1, DeMar had those second plays on. Looked like he got kind of emotional there, which we don't see a lot from him. Was that a factor? If he lost the last game, he's back home, or just him feeling the responsibility at that point?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's done that for a good portion of his career. I made this comment about he's got really great poise. Doesn't really get rattled. Things don't bother him. He's very calm. I mean, as much as it was just like, it felt like a slow, piece by piece, they're chipping and chipping and chipping and chipping until they took the lead. And I give our guys credit and give DeMar credit from a leadership standpoint that those guys kind of stayed with it. We came out at timeout. We got some points and kind of separated again and regained some control and got back momentum. And I think that's a credit to those guys being able to do that.
You had mentioned just like the way that they trapped you guys, but the trap DeMar kind of late as you went down the stretches. What did you think overall about how you all reacted to that this game compared to?
I thought Derek had some really good opportunities that he didn't really convert on. I think one he turned over, another one he kind of maybe missed a floater. I think Tony did make one. I thought DeMar and Zach gave it up when they needed to, and then you're that's what teams want to do. Okay, we don't want those two guys shooting. Someone else has got to shoot. And I think it's important to give those guys confidence to make plays in the middle of the floor like that because they're just trapping them. But I think it's an area we can get better at because certainly we'll probably see more of that. And I think Alex started to do a better job flashing to the middle of the floor. There was some possession there. I thought we got a little bit scattered. But I think it's probably the first time a lot of those guys had been in those kind of situations, this year. And I think it's something hopefully they can learn from. We can get better at watching film going into tomorrow.
Even against Golden State to a certain extent, the first half really much better defensively, and tonight, very good defensively. After halftime, not as much. What have you seen as the differences?
For us defensively?
Yeah, it seemed like first half defensively was really excellent, and then just sort of, is it just?
The second half?
Your first half defensively, you held those teams down, and then second, and after halftime,
they didn't score very many points in the second half tonight.
Hmm?
They didn't score very many points in the second half
Then
tonight.
they get back in the third, when they sort of got.
They scored 25 and 19. If you're going to, that's, whatever it is,
You'll take that.
44 points?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If we can hold the team for 44 points each half and we're giving up 88 points, I'd say we'd be the number one defense by a mile.
Right.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Bill.
Thank you, guys.